Hey friends, it's Nikki with Stillwater's Wreath Designs, and I thought I would take you on a little tour of my craft room. So let's take a peek, friends. We're just going to work our way around. So over here, you can see a cabinet. That's a good prop station when I'm making wreaths over here. This is my photo wall with a backdrop. Some wreaths I've just taken pictures of, getting ready to post on Etsy. Easter, one of my last Valentine's Day wreaths. Of course, a ring light. Totes and totes of Christmas things. Scattered finished wreaths everywhere. A pile of pine work wreath forms. Some florals. A bookshelf full of totes that have various embellishments. Some tools. My hot glue pot. Some various paper that I use when I'm crafting. More work forms. Ribbon, and more ribbon. If you are a crafter or a wreather at all, you too probably have piles and piles and piles of ribbon. I get a lot of questions about how I store my ribbon. So what you're actually seeing here, this shelf, is actually a shoe shelf that I got on Amazon, and it works perfectly. It's made out of a pretty heavy plastic. Quite honestly, probably wouldn't be great for shoes, but for ribbon, it is perfect. So if you could take a look over here, it's got two bars, and the ribbon just nestles in there perfectly. I don't like to keep it on spindles because I feel like it's too time consuming to pull it apart, to take off what I'm needing and then put it back together. I'm needing some more space. As you can see, I've started some piles. This storage unit, I actually got at a thrift store, so it serves the purpose, although I definitely prefer the shoe shelf. Another shelf, full of various embellishments. Typically this shelf, I try to rotate my stock, and so whatever the most current holiday is, I try to move all of my ribbon for that holiday, any embellishments for that holiday, onto that shelf, so that when I'm creating in a frenzy, everything is easily accessible in one spot. And then over here we've got a garment rack meant to hang clothes, but also works perfectly for hanging finished wreaths while I'm waiting for them to sell. So after I complete them, if they don't sell right away, then I hang them up on this garment rack. And so what I do, which is very homemade and home fashion, but it works. My husband gets tons of metal hangers from work, from his work uniforms. And so I have them piled up, and I can literally just bend them, create a pretty giant hook, hang my wreath from it, and then hang that from the garment rack. And it works like a charm. Over here, a couple of more finished wreaths. You know, if you're a wreath maker, you just basically hang them where you have room. Some shelves that my sweet hubby hung for me that I have yet to fill. Most of my shipping supplies and boxes are piled up here. So this is where I go to pull out anything I need to ship your orders. Lots of wreath frames, work wreath frames, hiding underneath the table in various piles. More shipping things and some ribbon that I did not put away. So over here you'll just see all different kinds of bubble wrap, my fragile stickers that I use to put on all of my boxes, some decorative stickers, packing tape, Underneath there, you'll find some smaller envelopes, bubble envelopes for smaller things. My self-healing cutting mat that's typically on my table, however, was in the way for my last project, so got moved. Here's my work table. It's where all the magic happens. It's just a standard 6-foot folding table from Walmart. Serves a purpose, holds things well. My trash can that literally is never ever empty. And this handy dandy contraption I actually purchased from Etsy. So this is a wreath making tool that you can use to just hang your wreath, and it's pretty heavy duty, so it really holds basically any weight that I've ever trusted it with. You can just simply hang your wreath here, so it's hanging, and then you can decorate and work from it as you need to if it's not a wreath that you want to lay down flat to work on. It's pretty good to keep a good visual on what you're working on. So this handsome fella who has lost his dignity because he has wreaths hanging from his antlers. This would be Marv. And Marv lives down here because, ironically, and there's tons of irony in this, my husband is a hunter. He's very passionate about that. However, I am not. I struggle very much with that. I know that we all have different opinions, so he loves it, and it makes me very sad for the animals. And so when he got Marv, and wanted to hang it in our house, at that time, this room in our basement was just a storage room. And so that's where I made him hang Marv because I really never wanted to see him. Well, now that I have this craft room and I'm down here for several hours a week, well, Marv and I just hang out. And so not only does he stare at me while I'm crafting every day, because you can see he's just, a few feet from my workstation, he also gets to wear some unfinished wreaths hanging from his antlers. So there's my reality of that, friends. So underneath my secondary table, it's actually another 6-foot table that I've butted together, so it's like an L-shaped work area. So I work on one arm of the L, and the other arm is the holder of all things. And so one never knows what you'll see over here, but you'll definitely always see a ton of different deco mesh. That is a wire cube storage set that I actually got from Amazon. Perfect for mesh, so I can just easily grab what I need and go. And you'll always see parts and pieces laying on the table that I'm horrible about putting away. So my little paint bucket, which actually serves its purpose for me to hold pipe cleaners and zip ties and wire ties and things of that sort. Some more things that are in motion. And then over here I've got a toolbox that actually holds things for earring making and some small delicate items for some of my wreath embellishments. And then you've got 2 plastics 3-drawer storage units that I use for my markers and pens and wire, rope, my wood burner. So basically all of my teeny tiny small tools that I need to keep in one place and not have to worry about them getting lost. Of course, I've got a couple of jars with more pipe cleaners, more work wire, my little station that always sits on my table that holds all kinds of different parts and pieces of things that I might need. So there's Scotch tape, different kinds of glue and adhesives, super glue, some of my pliers, and my snips and things of that sort you'll find there. My tape measure is always laying nearby, and I'm sorry to say my reading glasses are always within arm's reach. I've got my glue gun. As you can see, I've got an extension cord on the floor so that I can plug in my glue gun, glue pot, soldering tool, whatever I might need, phone charger, all the things. Underneath the table, some more work wreath forms, lots of florals tucked away over. This is actually a baker's rack that many moons ago was in my kitchen and was destined for garage sale until I realized it would be the perfect holder for all of my wreath signs. So lots and lots and lots of wreath signs tucked away on this shelf. Excuse the back noise, that's my dog running around upstairs. Anyway, lots and lots of different signs there. And then over here, some more florals tucked away. I'm actually working on a project for my husband to make for me a better way to store florals. And once we get around to doing that, I will be sure to share that with you, because I know if you're a wreath maker, that's always a challenge. It's been a challenge for me. And so if my idea works, then I'm going to be happy to share that with you. And so that's it, friends. You've gotten a tour of my handy dandy craft room. This room is probably, I don't know, I'm going to say 14 by 18. And what once started out in just this teeny tiny corner has now taken over the room. It's given me lots of joy in crafting. I actually started crafting during the height of the pandemic when we couldn't go anywhere. And what turned into a little bitty side passion and sharing with a few friends and family members and Facebook friends turned into an Etsy shop, which I feel very blessed has done well. And my goal for 2023 is to branch out onto YouTube to meet some more friends. So there we have it, everyone. Here's a little peek behind the craft room. I hope you've enjoyed, and if you haven't already, please make sure that you follow me on Facebook and YouTube. Be sure to check me out and my boutique and all of my goodies on Etsy. And stick around for more fun. Thanks, friends.